Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Rakesh. I'm going to be a trainer for this course that is MLOps, Machine Learning Operations, and I'm working as a MLOps architect and certified in AWS SCSC02 as well as MLOps. And also, I'm also certified in Terraform Associate as well as Azure Administration and also GCP as well as. I have done with a couple of projects with the machine learning operations past, and this training I'm going to help you out in understanding what is machine learning operations. Okay. If you have any questions later on, you can ask me. I can help you at the end of the session. Okay. So let me first introduce before coming to any journey in IT industry. First, it is first responsibility to understand what is SDLC is in the sense how the piece of software is developed. So basically, any piece of software which we are using today will follow some certain strategies to develop and also will have a quality software as an output by following some certain segments. This will be defined under the culture of SDLC. So SDLC is nothing but software development lifecycle process. So in this process, basically, if you can observe the steps in the right side, the first one planning will tell you like what is the project we are taking in and what kind of requirements will be there. According to that, the second part will be discussing about the analysis part. This analysis part will help you out in understanding what kind of environment is going to be used for the project. And the third one is design part. The design part will help us in designing in which way we can achieve the solution. And fourth one part which will explain you about the implementation part. The implementation part is for any project, developers is going to be the base layer who are going to be the base model for any project who are going to implement the project. Now, in nothing but we can say like a code will be written by the developers to perform actions. And once they write the code, it will go for a testing. And once the testing will be done on the code, then it will go for a live, that is nothing but under your maintenance as well as. So under this SDLC, you have a sub models like first one is a waterfall method. The waterfall method initially used in 2000s, and this is one of the successful model which have given a successful piece of applications in 2000s. Even though it is one of the best way and approaching to finish one project, but it had some problems. The problems are first one is a communication gap and second one is a technical gap. Because of the long distance between the teams, like geographically located in different areas, communication is the biggest problem in these teams. And the second important thing is technically people are not sounded much to understand about the other people's work. Even though whatever you have seen earlier in the SDLC, the same components you can see here as well as one after the other, each and every step will be executed in such a way to produce a proper quality software. So to reduce these gaps, the engineers have come up with a plan called the model called Agile SDLC model. Remember, if you join for a company today, you will be hearing these words, the Agile strategy. Agile is one of the strategy under the SDLC. It is very simple way of completing the project. If you look at the first initial diagram of the picture, the product backlog, in the sense the entire work where engineers have to do, that entire work will be divided into multiple pieces of parts. That is nothing but whatever the work they are supposed to do, they will divide it into multiple pieces of the work and they will put a target to finish that work in a 1 week or 2 weeks. So the each work they will call this one as a goal, and to finish that particular goal, whatever the time they will take, either a 1 week or 2 weeks, that time is called sprint. On the day of a sprint, every day in the morning, they will conduct a meeting. That meeting is called Scrum meeting. This Scrum meeting is mentioned for the purpose to analysis, design, build, and test and review. In the sense, every team lead people will join here to discuss about the current running issues and also will discuss what they have done yesterday and what they are going to do today and what will be done for tomorrow. So in this way, what happens is a team can address the issues to another team very easily. So that's why this model is one of the popular model where the shippable product increment was very good. So as we discussed two gaps, one is the technical gap and communication gap. The communication gap have become zero now. Now, to reduce the technical gaps, what we have is the engineers have introduced a separate role called DevOps. The DevOps is a person who having a knowledge on multiple tools and practices, and he will be implementing those tools in the project wherever they are required to make the project 100% reliable and successful. That's why the DevOps engineer called as the person who works closely with the developers and testers and IT operations together. So in this way, the DevOps journey has started, and later on, the technical issues have got cleared, and DevOps have a such much more importance in the real-time world today. And if you look at the DevOps tools, I want to introduce you here because even though you use MLOps, the machine learning operations needs a knowledge on some of the tools which you use in DevOps. If you look at this picture, whenever you try to see a DevOps or when you search for DevOps, this picture will represent in front of you. This picture is not only a simple picture, it will be depict you what is done in the DevOps with the help of the tools. If you can see this SDLC, how it is working the circular way, the DevOps also will work in the same way. You can see here the plan is about the work and code is implementing their work. And for that work, they're going to use some specific tools here. The specific tools in the sense for the code, they're supposed to use the code for all the people to collaborate. For that purpose, what you will do is you are going to save the code in the repositories. Saving the code in the repositories is nothing but called source code management policy. So this source code management will be helpful for you to collaborate your code in between the teams. In this machine learning operations journey, it is very important you to understand what is saving the code in repositories. We will also discuss that tool in our journey. And after the code is delivered from the developers, we are going to build the code to make it as artifacts. Remember, when any person develop a code as a developer, that cannot be used as directly as a software. It need to be converted to an installable format for the required and proper way of deployment. So that is why the reason the code will be converted into artifacts by using the process called build. For a build, we will use a different type of tools, Maven, Gradle, and Maven is most used in the tool in the world, and it has been using for the last 16 years of time successfully for producing the artifacts. Don't worry about it. These technical terms along with the practicals we will cover in our subject. Don't worry much about these things. Just I'm introducing these tools for you to have a knowledge for now. And once the artifacts have been generated, the testing part will go on artifacts with the help of some testing tools like JUnit and Selenium and Lodestone. So we'll use the JUnit to understand the testing parameters as well as, in the sense, whenever a developer writes the code, it's a primary responsibility of a testing team to understand and to validate the code is written with the proper standards and proper without bugs or not. So once the testing is completely done, then we will use a CI/CD process, which is nothing but release. This release part plays an important role in the DevOps life, even in organization's backend history. So the Jenkins is a tool which will provide a CI/CD, and I'll explain you what is CI/CD later on in the slides. So this CI/CD will help you out in deploying your artifacts continuously. You can deploy your artifacts by using the deployment tools like Ansible and in the servers. So the operations wise, we will use Linux administration skills, and also the monitoring purpose, we will use different kind of monitoring tools. So these are all the journey will continuously done every time. So that's why this DevOps will be very successful. And now coming to the journey of MLOps, the machine learning operations. Let's assume if you are developing any one product, and if you're once your developers are done with the code, and if you're creating artifacts, and once your deployment is done, that is nothing but DevOps role has been completed. But remember, it is a different functionality when it comes to machine learning operations in the sense the machine we are going to train a data, and that data whatever the data you are going to train and you are going to plan, and that is going to be again verified and will be going for a release and will be monitored. Whenever you plan a code and create, you will give the data to a machine, and that model training you will do for a machine, and machine will in a capability of understanding the data with the help of the databases and will respond back to your customer. So this process will be continuously happens, that will be done in the machine learning operations. Machine learning and the developer and operations. These all people works together to make this machine learning operations. So what is MLOps is really? Whenever you talk about machine learning operations, the four important things comes into the picture. The first one is data collection and preparation. Let me tell you an example so that you can understand very better. If any airlines using a customer data, they can understand from which country, people, at what time they are booking the flight tickets, and what are the destinations. According to this data, they can understand customer and their requirements. And this data is very huge. It's not a 1 GB or 2 GB or 2 GB. It will be in the terabytes. To analyze the data, it is not possible with the human or simple calculations. That time the machine learning operations will be introduced in such a way that to give the accurate answers for the requirements. And the second important thing is that there are different models we will use, the development of your models and for the training to a machine. That is a very important segment which we cover in machine learning operations. And the third important thing, after you do the machine learning operations and how you are going to deploy your services, that is also another criteria we will learn in the machine learning operations. Apart from that, once you're done with the deployment, with a successful deployment, you also need to monitor your service continuously and to take the feedback and give it to the customer back and also for your developers back. This system also need to be integrated in the machine learning operations. So these are the major areas which we are going to cover and learn. When we talk about the data collection and preparation method, there are many things will comes into the picture, like how we are going to use the data ingestion and preparation and exploration. Remember, when you are giving data to a machine, the way how you are giving it and how it is collecting and how it is processing, these are all the things you are supposed to understand. The machine learning operations will help you out in understanding those points technically. And you are supposed to define the goal of what you are trying to understand from the data. And you also identify what kind of data sources you are giving to machine. If you're giving a proper data sources to a machine, then only you can get the proper output from the machine. And you are supposed to prepare and label and explore the raw data. The raw data in the sense, just now I have given an example. Let me give you another example. You have a lot of images on Google, and you also have a tools to convert the image data into a database. So images are in the right data here. Let us assume a company is giving a number of PDFs and want to understand for the customer. The PDFs are the raw data. And converting this raw data to the features is nothing but your machine learning operations to journey. There are many use cases, not only one or two we will stick with, we will practice many of the things because we have a different kind of industry set outside, hospitality and healthcare and banking majorly and customer relation management. Many industries were there. So we also have to understand all these concepts and according to that we have to apply different kind of models over here. And once you done with the collecting of the raw data, the next one is model development and training. It's simply a model development is nothing but getting your data ready from your machine learning model, nothing but you are going to extract your data. Likewise, how I have given you an example of images and extracting the data from PDFs. And once you extract the data, you have to perform the data on the machine. That is nothing but called model training to your machine and validation of your data. And once there you go with the machine learning operation models to extract the data from your existing system or your existing data by using a GPU machines or a CPU machines. Okay. So in the journey of machine learning operations, you're also required to learn about some of the tools related to the DevOps. Because as a machine learning operations engineer also, you're supposed to understand about some of the important things and features which comes from a DevOps. So the first one tool which we are going to discuss is a Git. Git is called a source code management tool, handling tool, and GitHub is a repository management. In simple, I want to tell you, if any developer is developing the code, even here the DevOps engineer is also considered as a developer when he is using Git. Anybody is changing any of the files in the repository from their local system, they must have to use the tool called Git. And whenever you want to make any changes to your code according to the requirement, you are supposed to understand the code and requirements at the same time the development in a parallel method. So when you are going with the parallel method of development, it is supposed to important that you are supposed to understand about the requirement. And remember, every person cannot do development at one place. Let us assume you are editing one file and your friend is editing another file. It is not possible. So that time you will have a wonderful methodology here with a Git called branching strategy. We will discuss with the multiple exams in our class. So you will be not having that much confusion about it. And I'm telling you, Git is very simple tool. You will learn very quickly. And the next important things which I told you, the Jenkins is the heart of your entire process, which will provide you the concept of continuous integration and continuous delivery. If I talk about the continuous integration, continuous delivery for the first time people who are listening, that might be new for them. But let me explain you with some examples so that you will understand very better. Guys, you are using Facebook, you are using YouTube. Today, if you take any photo and if you upload it on Facebook, it will come in a quick time. How it is possible? Because the Facebook have a CI/CD process. When you upload the picture, it will come directly on the top of your screen. And when you upload a video, also that video come back in very quick. That is the way it has designed. This is called continuous integration. And when the person as a customer is uploading the data is coming in a very quick time. This is continuous integration process. So YouTube or any services have set up in that way. If you take an example of OLX, if you want to sell some goods, if you post an ad, it is not going to be done immediately. It is going to take some time, and then after that your ad will be approved and you will do it. So the process for this YouTube and process for OLX used is same. But what is the difference? The difference is the OLX people is going to approve on your post, and then only it will get approved, and then only you are going to use it. In a sense, there is an approval mechanism over there. That approval mechanism will be called as continuous delivery process or deployment process. Now let's come back to your picture. Try to understand from here. Whenever a developer changes any code to the GitHub repository, the Jenkins server will identify these changes and automatically will trigger the bell. And if there are any failures, it will also send a mail to a developer. That is the way your CI/CD works here with the Jenkins. Jenkins not only done with the CI/CD job simply, it done many of the things, and majorly this is one of the interesting tool in in the DevOps journey. So we will also learn with multiple projects with the using of Jenkins. Don't worry about it. It's very simple to understand even. And the next skill we are going to learn is Docker. For machine learning operation journey, it's must and should a person should understand about what is a Docker. Because whenever a developer, as a developer, whenever he develops any application, it's your duty to containerize those applications. Containerization in the sense, let me tell you an example for the people who are listening for the first time. Whenever we want to deploy an applications, in initial days, we used to do applications deployment in the standalone machines. They are called virtual machines. The machine or operating system, which is built on a main operating system, are called virtual machines. Means virtually present and physically they were not. And this kind of technology have a lot of problems and issues where the deployments have not happened properly. So that is why the reason they have come up with a new technology called containerization of application. A containerization application is nothing but from a main operating system, you will be installing a tool called Docker. This Docker is available for Windows, Linux, and Macintosh operating systems. And here on the top of that, you will be run a small micro operating system. They are called as containers. The wonderful technology of this one is anywhere in the world, you can directly pull in your image and you can run it very quickly. And the size of these operating systems are very minimal when compared to a general way of guest operating system used in hypervisor technology. This Docker is completely changed the IT industry. After introducing the Docker, the entire history has been changed because of the reason the Docker applications will restart within a 0.2 seconds of time. If you take a normal machine, whereas it will take around 30 minutes to 1.5 hours. So this has increased the availability of an application to a customer by using the concept of high availability and multi-container strategy. Don't worry about it. Docker is a very simple tool. You can learn very quickly because the commands are very easy and very handy. And once you're done with the multiple examples, it will be very easy to understand. Anyhow, in our course, we will learn this Docker journey very well. The more important thing for a high availability concept is understanding about the Kubernetes and creating a container orchestration system. It's very simple. Let me help you out. Whenever you search anything on Amazon or YouTube, you can observe those applications will never go down. Even there is a sale is on Amazon or Flipkart, these sites will never go down. What is the reason behind of it? Because the application will not run on only one server. Application will run on more than 3 servers and they are connected together. If in case any server fails because of some issues, the rest of the 2 servers will be handling the traffic. And at the same time, third server which is destroyed will be created automatically by using the concept of Kubernetes internal mechanism. This Kubernetes tool was used by Google for 11 years and introduced to outside the world in 2014. And after the 14, this tool has been handed over to a CNCF, Cloud Native and Cloud Foundation, and distributed to the world in a very highest way. And everybody is today using Kubernetes. That is the power of Kubernetes. It is very important tool, and it will be completely depends on Docker. But I will help you out in help you with the multiple projects and implementing with the Kubernetes. And the next important thing is it is very important you to monitor your infrastructure by using any monitoring tools. Even though for a cloud, they have their own managed services to watch their services, but it is very important for machine learning operation people to have a Grafana as well as. Grafana is a tool which will help you out in monitoring your infrastructure. It will provide the data in the charts, graphs, and also it will send the alerts to a person who is responsible for it, and along with the data and what is in mistaken. So by this, what happens is you will be get alerted and you can take a necessary actions to not to get down your server and make outage to a customer. So that is the reason where we will be looking at this Grafana. Apart from this open source tools, we are going to see a cloud computing, which is a very important component for your understanding and journey of your machine learning operations. Let me tell you about the cloud computing purpose and usage people who are listening for the first time. Cloud computing is not new for you. From a couple of years, you are using your Gmail and you are using some data and storing in that. Your data is storing in a cloud servers and not in your phone. Likewise, you use this one as a service as a customer as of now. Now you are going to create a service for your customers as an engineer. So to do that one, you have to learn some of the things related to the cloud computing concept. So that we are going to learn here. You can ask me one question. We have a on-premise in the sense we have a company's own servers. Why we are using cloud computing? Cloud computing will be very efficient in multiple things. First thing, it is no outage. Second thing, your data is secure. Third thing, they're globally leaders. And fourth one, you can rent it, and if you don't want, you can destroy it. So likewise, it had many capabilities that we will discuss in the cloud computing session. And when it comes to machine learning service deployment, you're supposed to understand what is the integration and existing with application. Let us assume, are you going to do it with the existing application or you are going to with the new employment? So if it is a new deployment, you are going to create everything from scratch. If it is with the existing one, you are going to integrate with the existing deployment. And you are also supposed to understand about the creation of a front-end application for your deployment process as well as. As I told you, containerizing your application is must and should important to understand about it. It is very important for you to understand about the API services. API services in the sense, whenever you call one service or whenever you hit some options over the web UI, that will be calling another option or another service in the backend through API. That API is understanding also very important, which we will learn in the machine learning journey of this course. And it's very important to understand about the model endpoint, how we are going to access and what are different endpoints will be there, how we are going to connect and how we are going to integrate. These are all the things will be taught inside the journey of this machine learning operations. As I told you, resource monitoring will be one of the important things which we are going to use it. The first step, you always remember training and validating the data and deploying the data And after deploying the monitoring it, if it is there any issues, again we are going to train and validate. The process will be continuously roll on to understand more. The continuous feedback and monitoring system to track and understand your data, and at the same time for the data how your infrastructure is responding. It is very important for you to understand how your infrastructure is behaving for your for particular machine learning operations model. And along with that, for usage of your application, what are the metrics you are going to consider, and along with that, how you are going to compare with the previous models, and how we are going to do with the implementation of the projects. Those are all the things will be observed in this project. So in this training, along with the implementation of our projects, we will also do the comparisons in a higher level to understand how we can take a decisions. Because as a machine learning operations engineer, you are supposed to take a decisions in such a way that the proper and very healthiest deployment you are supposed to do. That is your job. So even that also will be considered here as a one big job. And remember, if you want to do a machine learning operations, it's primary and must and should important for Python. And don't worry about it. In our course, we will start with the Python, and you will learn a very basic knowledge to very advanced level of Python and to implement the machine learning operations. We will be not much tied up side of the developer, but it is very 100% our job to understand how Python will be implemented in the machine learning operations. Not only for machine learning operations, we'll be doing some ad hoc scripts we will be writing to manage some data and pull the data, train the data. So for all these things, you need a Python knowledge that we are going to learn. Luckily in this course, so no worry about the Python people who doesn't have a knowledge on Python. And moreover, remember you are not will be that much depth into Python. You will be understanding the Python to train your models, and especially what you are going to learn from this course. The first thing is like how your machine learning operations, directories, and source code management and handling in the team and the development, how the process goes and everything you will learn. And it is very important for you to, for the deployment process to understand about the YAML writing. YAML is a one scripting language, yet another markup language, which is a very easy and human readable language. That crash course also we are going to have it in our program so that you will understand and you can write the deployment strategies for deploying on the top of the clusters. And the next important thing, which is a very important part in our machine learning operations, is packaging ML models. That also we are going to learn with examples. And remember, ML flow is very important one to manage our ML experiments. That also we will learn with examples. As I told you, Docker, for machine learning, how it is going to be useful. That we will discuss with an examples and how we are implementing with the machine learning models. And to build the MLOps, we can also use Flask, and that example also I'll explain you. That is another one experiment which we are going to do to understand. And also along with that, we are going to do the same MLOps building operation using the Streamlit, another one. So these are all very use case models which will be helpful for you to work in real time with a lot of confidence. And it is not only important for learn more about the machine learning operations and implementation, it is very important for you to how to configure your infrastructure, how to prepare as a CI/CD, and how you are going to deploy, and how you are going to set up the monitoring system. So these are all the things also very important, and especially the monitoring of your ML systems using a different kind of methodology, and we will also see along with the logs. So that we are going to learn in our machine learning journey. So this is about in simple what is machine learning operations is, and let me tell you what you can get as a benefits from my training. First, I will provide you the complete material for all of the subjects, the machine learning operations, and along with that, whatever the tools we are using, GitHub, Docker, Jenkins, all these documents also I will be providing you. And whatever you do, apart from this, from the day one, we will do all our hands-on. So that complete hands-on documentations for different kind of scenarios, for a technical documentation also you are going to get it. This documentation will have all the real-time scenarios, which are very important for your journey of machine learning operations. And we will be doing many of the major projects by using all our tools at the end of our sessions. That is after the last week of our sessions. And along with that, the admin will provide you the video and material access from your day one, including your demo. And I will also help you on in how to prepare this advanced machine learning operation resume, and also how you have to prepare for the interview. Along with that, I will also provide you the interview questions and documents for you. And it will all involve the complete real-time training and complete support from my side. Okay. So I want to welcome everybody for this course. And if you have any question here, you can ask me so that I can help you with.
Hello, Rakesh.
Yes, please.
Hello. I'm Kalyan, actually. I have 3 years experience in machine learning. I
Mhm.
need to know that this does this course cover deployment of CI/CD in GCP platform?
We will consider any one of the cloud. For now, we are taking AWS. Once you understand with AWS, it will be very easy for you to understand in GCP as well as.
Can you dedicate one or two lectures for complete GCP platform? It would be beneficial for me because our company is in tie-up with GCP, so I'm working on GCP platform. Just these services and different.
I will
Yeah.
try to help you out, Kalyan, at the end of the sessions. But uh, at this situation, this is a very tightly scheduled. I cannot guarantee you directly, but I'm sure definitely I can help you with the documentation, or otherwise, if I time permits according to the schedule, I'll definitely pull you one of the GCP models. Even I do have GCP experiments earlier. I can provide you.
Sure. And one more thing, I need to know about how to design the architecture for deployment. So that is giving me an issue actually. Will that be covered in this course?
Designing, yeah, it will be covered, but do remember, designing of architecture, you need to understand about what is the functionality, and as well as what is the data type, and what is the amount of data, and what is the architecture type. All these things you are supposed to take a consideration, and you have to do it. It is not a single amount of job. Got it?
Yes. And what kind of services do we use for each and every step in the cloud platform? Please to cover that also. It would be beneficial.
See, as I'm telling you, we were going to learn in a cloud, in a AWS solution architect associate level.
Okay, that's it.
As I can tell you one thing, this course is designed in such a way, it is completely full of efforts for a 60 days of a time, and it will be a full knowledge for the person who is starting from. And also, it will also involve very high-end projects after the basics are completed. The only thing which I can suggest for students is to keep your, a lot of dedication from the day one itself. That is what I can do. I can suggest, because machine learning operations is going to be future. Remember my words. For the next 10 to 15 years, wherever you go, you will find a job definitely in MLOps. Even you can search that one for a market. If you won't trust me, you can understand very better what I'm trying to say.
And this course will be mostly theory or mostly practical?
As I told you, only demo will be theory. Rest of all are technical classes.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
With this course, after completing the course, you can go and join in any machine learning operations in any company. You can work seamlessly and you can work confidently. That is my assurance as a trainer. I'll make sure you will work
What is
like
the
that.
timings? What is
Timings,
the timings of yes?
it is 8 a.m. IST to 9 a.m.
Duration of this course?
60 days you will be.
Hi Rakesh, so as a DevOps engineer, how much ML is are needed for this course actually? Do we need any prerequisites to know about the ML? How about it?
Whatever I will take in the class, just you focus only on the subject. I'll make you your journey as a machine learning operations engineer. This course is designed in such a way to start machine learning models from a scratch to high end level. That's why I'm telling you, even from tomorrow, the first class also, your journey is very, very important. You need not to have any prior knowledge, or you need not to have anything, something, related to, even in my class also, on daily basis, I'll give you the tasks. The tasks are very important you to understand. The people who will finish the task on the same day, they are going to be benefited like anything. But I suggest, if you follow me according to that, then you will definitely reach your destination as per your requirement. Does anybody have any other questions? You can feel free to ask me. Don't feel like shy or something. Okay.
So,
If you have
when,
any questions, directly ask me.
yeah, when the course will be begin?
Mm-hmm.
The
When?
course will be, I want to know the date for for joining this course. Is a Monday?
See, regarding the course, you can talk to admin. As I can see, admin also messaged that is on Monday. The course will be start without fail, and the classes will start from Monday, the same 8 to 9 without fail. There is nothing like there is no more you any of the
Waiting
parts
time.
are explaining things. Simply, first technical class will be started on Monday sharp 8 a.m. And I
Okay,
suggest
so
everybody to join at least 2 minutes before of the session,
it's going to be weekdays every day from Monday to Friday.
Monday to Saturday.
Oh, Monday to Saturday. So
Yes, we have some tight schedule. This schedule is, very important one. We have to count each and every day very specifically. So Saturdays also we cannot leave you.
okay, so don't you think that we will have very short time to practice anything because we have study, we have jobs.
No
So
worries. No
mhm.
worries. I'll give you very enough time and you will be doing all the practices very well. Don't worry about it. I will take care of entire thing. Only I need your 1 hour dedication in classroom, 1 hour dedication after the class. 2 hours I needed from you daily. That's it.
Practice and the class time.
Yeah. 2 hours daily. If you can give for me, then I will definitely show you the path for machine learning operations very well. But
Sure.
you should dedicatedly spend time for a first 1 hour in the classroom, after 1 hour as if for the practice.
Okay, no problem.
Uh,
If if
Hello, sir.
if if it is, yeah,
One more
yes,
question.
Akshay, please tell me.
Sir, actually, sorry, I got a bit late to join the session. Actually, I'm working today. Just a couple of questions. Maybe I'm asking repeated questions, so sorry for that. But just a couple of questions. Like sometimes it happens that morning 8 a.m. We are having working times. So are these sessions going to be recorded or something so that if we miss out something, we can, study it later on?
All the sessions are recorded and will be given by admin to you. You can talk to admin about it. And along with that, if you have any doubt related to the recorded class, and once you have listened to that class, if you can ask that questions for first 5 minutes in the classroom on the next day.
Okay, sir. Right. Got your point.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, just one thing, tools that we will be using or that will be covered in this course are like ML Flow, Cube, or something like Cube Flow or something. Which one we are going to focus on?
Guys, I'm sorry for stopping you, Akshay. The first thing is admin is asking you to drop your emails and details in the chat box. Please
Yeah, yeah,
respond
I'll
to
do.
her directly, immediately.
Yeah,
That is the first thing.
yeah.
Regarding the second point, raising for the syllabus and the tools, you can also collect the same document is available with the admin. She will help you out in sending the document to you directly. Please go through the document. And if you have any questions, you can also ask me on the Monday's class.
Okay, sir. Sure.
But I'm telling you, everybody again, this is going to be a wonderful opportunity to explore machine learning operations. As you, many people have seen on LinkedIn and tech channels and innovation channels, that how machine learning operations is evolving much faster way in the globally. It is a right opportunity for use it. The people who have already the journey focus on it. The people who are new to it focus on more on it. And if you get any doubt, immediately ask me in the classroom on the same day, rectify it. Okay, this journey should be very smooth and good. As a trainer, I'm here to support in all the corners to make your journey successful.
Rakesh, this is Syed. I have a question around. You said that you'd be using AWS platform. So, what specific AWS services would be we would be using?
Yeah, AWS services related to our machine learning operations we will deal.
Okay. So, the fact. that I'm asking this question is that my day job is of a solutions architect,
Sorry,
and
so your voice is not clear. Can you come a little louder for me?
yeah, sure. See, my day job is around solutions architect. I'm a solutions architect, so I mostly deal with infrastructure. So, will you be doing? Will you be dealing with Kinesis, Redshift, and Glue, all of these services?
See,
I do not know
we
them,
we
so
will
that's the reason I'm
no.
asking.
The first thing is that for a machine learning, the first thing is that we have to understand what is the default methodology.
Uh
Then
huh.
we will jump into the cloud methodology. First,
Okay.
default how this goes on, the journey how this goes on. That we have to capture first. Then we will go and will capture about the cloud services. Implementing in a cloud services is a very easy job. Everybody can do that. But thing is that
Oh.
understanding from the basics, like why, how, what is the subject, that is important in the machine learning especially. When comes to cloud, it
Hmm.
is a one day matter. Just we can create a project and I can show you that you will understand very easily. Even a new person also can understand very easily. That is not really going to be a big matter for us. But thing is that you have to understand from a basics to advanced level what is machine learning journey is about. Then we can discuss about the cloud part. Anyhow, as I told you, in our journey also we will discuss about AWS related services related to machine learning operations and all. And if possible, we will also step to another cloud as well. As
Thank you
I
very
have
much.
done
And my
multiple
next
projects,
question,
multiple. Yeah, tell me, sir.
yeah, my next question
Yes.
is around Python, sir. So, I'm not sure about the other participants, but in terms of Python, what what is the expectation? Like, do you expect the person to know Python? And if it is the case, then what is the level of expertise that you're expecting?
See, if you know Python, that is well and good. But if
Uh-huh.
you don't know Python also, that's not a problem because as I told you, we'll start from a scratch to advanced level and each and every person must have to learn Python for sure.
Oh,
That I will make you in such a way that you should understand and you have to do it. Otherwise, as I told you, every day I will be giving some of the examples you to understand, write, and the daily basis your work will be depends on the same technicality. So it is, as I told you, it's very simple. People who are on the same path, focus. People who are on the new to it, then you have to focus more than others. And if you have any doubts, you have to follow my instructions to finish your tasks. That's it.
okay, Rakesh, let me put this question another way. See, from my experience, there are two types of awarenesses when comes to Python. One is basic ability of being able to use a cloud module or certain modules and just write some basic code. And the other approach or other awareness is knowing Python extensively, object-oriented programming and all of that. So that would definitely take a very long time for an individual who is basically coming from an infra background or something on those lines. So, what amount of Python is required for this course, and what I mean, what would you be focusing on?
Most of the time, I'll be focusing on your journey to understand about the machine learning strategy by using Python. So here you will be using up to 1 to 10 of your skill, up to 8 you will be using your Python skills. Above the intermediate level, you will be using your Python skills to write and deploy and to train your models. So for that purpose, you will be using the Python.
Mhm.
Uh,
Is it clear?
hey, hey Rakesh, I have another question. Just for asking, uh, will you use any deep learning model, transformer model, or just machine learning model?
We'll be using machine learning models.
No deep learning
We'll
or
be,
no?
sorry,
I
come
mean,
again?
no deep learning model, no transformer.
No, no. We will use deep learning models. We will also use PyTorch models. We'll also use TensorFlow models. Different kind of model and strategies we'll use.
Okay, because my task is mainly focused on uh, deep neural network, so that's that's the most important thing for me by going to join this course.
Okay. See, guys, as I told you, every company will follow some different strategies. That is common. But thing is that for this course, I'll try to As I told you, I have covered many of the real-time models at the end of the 3 weeks. Along with that, I will also try to cover as many as possible. But thing is that the ideal course is designed to cover most of the different projects, how they are dealt. So this is in a common with all of the students. For one case, we cannot extend and we can continuously do that because other things also need to be covered. Everything need to be understood as an engineer. So as a trainer, my responsibility is make sure you to introduce to all of those things. So we will cover up on those things, but for sure, as a trainer, I will definitely explain you and help you with the some certain documents as per your project requirements after the classes, but not in the classes. The reason is the main motto is to cover the schedule properly, aim for machine learning operations properly, and a student should get benefited from this journey, have a proper machine learning understanding. Got it?
Yeah, thanks. Nice.
Yeah, Rakesh, is there any platform where we can share all our doubts so that it would be easy? Uh,
Regarding the platforms, admin will help you out. You can talk to them, okay? Because they use the different platforms and they will address you about it. If anything is there, you can ask them, okay? But
yeah,
from my side,
regarding
you
the
will get always a good.
technical doubts. Yeah,
Yeah, you talk to admin how they are
sure.
balancing for right now, okay? Talk to them once, they will give you better idea because that is administration part. Technical part, I can help you out. Administration part, you can talk to them, they will help you out. I hope everybody's doubt is clear. Okay,
Yes,
thank you.
just two questions, two short questions I was having. Very
Okay,
quick,
Akshay,
sir.
please tell me.
Yeah,
No
just
problem.
one thing is, I just want to make sure that this course is going to be majorly or more than 90% highly focused on ML ops and not on the machine learning training models. I mean, not on the basics of machine learning. My requirement is that I am having a knowledge of machine learning, quite good knowledge. I'm working as data scientist only. My requirement is MLOps specific. So I hope that just that one question I was having, is it majorly MLOps specific and not basics of machine learning? And second thing, the duration of the course. That's it.
See, this training journey will comes with covering from a scratch to advance. As a data scientist, you might feel some of the areas you might have known for 1 or 2 days. But as my responsibility as a trainer to make everybody to understand from a scratch. Most of the time, this scratch will be done in the first 1 week or two. But rest of the time, all we will be covering machine learning models in a very high end. And after that, this course, as successfully designed for 60 days of time, will be committedly will be finished all those things. But I'm sure I might be taking 1 or 2 days maybe extra if something is needed to be explained again and again for the students. 60 days in the
Okay, sir.
sense, again, exactly 60 days I cannot put it. I might be taking one
Yeah,
more day for a training you on resume preparation. I might be taking somebody's explains just now Krishna is asking me about the deep learning process. I might have to step
right,
into that because it is useful for everybody. So as a trainer, my intention is to cover many things because the students has to learn the things, right? So
right.
don't stick to exactly 60. You can take plus R3, plus 4, or plus 5 in the worst
Yeah,
case,
yeah, sir.
okay?
Yeah, plus or minus 5 days is totally understandable. Actually, it's good.
Not
Thank you, sir.
for minus for sure. There will
Yeah,
be
yeah.
plus only. Minus will be
Yes, sir.
not there because 60 days is a very tight schedule for this big journey. As I have
Okay, sir.
designed in such a way that might in the middle of the journey I might be required to explain the things in a 2 times or 3 times because this machine learning operations is very advanced as a
Yes, sir.
very one of the brightest future of now. So I might be needed some time for the people to make them understand very well and explain the students again. So as a trainer, I will be holding this responsibilities. So you might have to consider me for more 3 to 5 days by the time.
Sure, sir. Sure. Not a problem. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So Monday, the first class will technical class will be there. I request everybody to join 5 minutes before the class and don't miss any of the class. All the best. Have a good time, everybody. Bye.